Hello again everyone, Ageofdune here, and we are back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This particular game has a lot of high-level players here. We've got a couple of golds from last season as well as a platinum. And we've got Insoy, who is the reason I decided to do this. I was actually watching his casted.in profile so I could go ahead and get in on a game with him in it because people have been requesting him quite a bit, and he's pretty well liked. So I went ahead and decided to cast this game. And soon, hopefully this guy will connect. I have already actually recorded the game, so I know it's going to happen. But I'm just doing this so you guys can see this, and I'd really like it if he would connect so I can go ahead and show you what skin he has. Actually, no, she didn't connect at all. So, yeah, this is actually Sona with no skin. And, yeah, this is the teams. I hope you guys enjoy the game that you're about to see, and see you around. Bye. Alright, so let's get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and push play here. The intro was actually recorded after I watched and cast the game, simply because of the fact that he was playing while I was eating, and I didn't really want you guys to have to, listen to me eat. So I went ahead and just kind of listened to it halfway. I had it loading up while it was going on. Oh, this is bad. My mouse goes off on my screen, so I'm going to have to be steering using my keyboard again. Unfortunately, that seems to be what happens when I watch via LOL replay. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the right side of the screen becomes passable, and you can just get right through it. So that's kind of annoying, but that's okay. I will be able to look by the arrow keys here, so that'll be fine. Looks like the red team's actually coming in for an invade here, and honestly, I think that may end up being pretty good for them. The blue team has no idea. They had no boards, and the red team's just slowly working their way around. The blue guy here is going to see it if they decide to come in, unless they end up pulling. The question is, will Blitzcrank pull soon enough to actually figure it out? There we go. They're coming in, and they're going in on the Shaco. Shaco's like, oh crap. Is he going to get caught here, though? That is the question. They should be able to grab him. No, the fear comes out. Had he went ahead and grabbed there, it actually might have been able to do that. But he didn't grab, and there is no dead Shaco. But on the other hand, that does mean that they got to pop these, which is great, as that means Shaco's not going to be able to get them. So all they did there was interrupt the Shaco, and that's actually a pretty huge interrupt, honestly, because Shaco gets so much of his early game jungle power from those boxes, and they were able to completely clear out the red boxes there, and it shut him down pretty hard. It's going to be a whole lot harder for him to clear than it normally is. And as Shaco, that's not really something you want. He's been nerfed so hard that he kind of needs that, honestly. And yeah, obviously it didn't delay him too much thanks to his allies, but at the same time, I mean, it did delay him a decent amount there. So he's going to go ahead, go back to the jungle, and it looks like he's actually going to come for red here, which is actually bad for him, as Rengar has just finished it. And the question is Rengar going to be in this bush? He is, and Shaco's going to see him and be like, oh, dang. So, I don't know. I think Rengar suspects it, but it's a little late for that, as he just left. So, Rengar's got to go back to farming his jungle now. And Shaco's kind of disappointed. He's going to go ahead and go back to his red buff here. Sona, unfortunately, is not here, and that really stinks. I hope she reconnects soon. If not, I will definitely be very sad. We've got, alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the players here. We've got top lane. Yes, she's here. Nasus, played by Picardin, versus Renekton, played by DownrightSexy. Interesting little matchup there. The two enemies in lore are against each other. Mid lane, we've got Devlin playing Twisted Fate versus Brand, played by Insoy. Insoy is actually the reason I went ahead and cast this game. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the loading screen that will be recorded later on. He has been very heavily requested by people, so I went ahead and came in this one. I've been keeping an eye on him for a while, but he hadn't been streaming when I was able to record. That's why it's been so long since I mentioned that I wanted it before I could actually go ahead and do it. But I finally saw that he was streaming tonight, or not streaming, but playing tonight, so I went ahead and cast it. I know that at least some people really like his Talon, but honestly, I'm thinking that people just like him in general, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So he is going to be mid either way. First blood goes down to Caitlyn. Is she actually going to be able to flash out of this? No, Sona gets the kill there. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, but Sona got the kill for the blue team, whereas first blood actually went to Caitlyn, which is great for the red team. Insoy, you better watch out. It's going to turn bad on you. Alright, down bottom, we've got Corki, played by HentaiKillBoxz. Oh, is he about to die too? Yes, he goes down as well. And Shaco actually gets the kill for that one. He was playing way too aggressively here, based on the fact that there were two. How exactly did he die, though? He just went in there, and he thought he was going to be able to take him down, but he took a tower shot instead, and that ended up killing him. So that was a pretty big misplay by the Blitzcrank there. He really should not have gone in on that, especially that close to the tower. Shaco was just able to use his box to fear him in. Ooh, is this going to work? No! Brand successfully flashes out of that. Very nicely played by him. And he actually gets a decent amount of damage off on Twisted Fate, who was sitting around in the little spot that he could get. So, not bad at all. Okay, we've got Caitlyn, played by Sir Middleton. The supports, we've got Sona, played by MagisterMagi, and Blitzcrank playing Try Running Away. Ooh, gank up here. Renekton's going in on the Nasus. No, yeah, Renekton is, yes. In comes the Rengar, though, and Rengar says, alright, you're gonna die too. And indeed, both of them ended up dying. Rengar got the kill for the red team, which is good for Renekton in particular, but for the blue team overall, it ends up giving more gold to the red team. So it all depends on how you look at it. It does put Renekton farther ahead of Nasus, but like I said, it gives more gold to the red team in general. So it really depends on how you look at it. Another kill there for that Corki. Was able to go ahead and go in. And is he going to get her as well? No, she did end up getting out of that with her net. So she's going to live. Oh, he flashed up and double kill. Wow. Very nice flash kill there. And he is already getting quite nastily fed there. And up here, we've got Insoy. Missed that attack. Was able to stun him there. And okay, so he died to the tower, but I believe his Ignite ended up taking Twisted Fate down. So that was a 1-for-1, and in comes the Shaco. Says, alright, fine, we'll just push this up to tower and make sure that Twisted Fate, yes, Twisted Fate loses as much as possible. Rengar says, nope. No, you're not. Alright, finally, we've got the junglers. Shaco, played by youngMINI, versus Rengar, played by GG I AFK. Hopefully he's not going to do that this game. I really hate games that end that way. That really sucks. So, yeah, you don't do that, okay? Don't do what your name says. I'm kind of surprised Renekton's not destroying Nasus a bit more than he is. I mean, he is definitely a bit higher up in CS, but he hasn't been able to push him off all that much. I mean, he's only 11 behind. Nasus is. And Renekton is hardcore early game champion, whereas Nasus is really hardcore late game champion. So really, if you are Renekton, you're going to want to be able to destroy this Nasus in lane, and then hopefully that will give you enough of a lead that once the late game comes, you're able to just destroy him anyway. Aw, nice flash there from the Twisted Fate. Out comes Renekton, flashes out. There is the TF ulti, but the Shaco's already too far. Out comes the TF, and oh, he does manage the stun there on the Shaco, who came out to throw his dagger, and it ended up just getting him killed. So very nice, very, very nice by them. The Brand thought he was going to be fine, so he was just slowly walking back, doing damage as possible, but no, Renekton came in and said, nah, you're going to die. And he did indeed die. So that is definitely not good for the blue team. Down comes Renekton to say, get off of this tower, and I'm going to kill you all. He is level 6, so he might actually be able to do it. In he goes. Did not land the slice and dice, so he did not get a double slice and dice. There's a teleport coming in from Nasus, so he says hello, and Renekton is going to be forced to fall back here. I don't think he's going to die. Nasus is also ultied up. I don't think anybody's going to die quite yet, unless he gets hit, and he did get hit there, so he's going to die now. He came back a little bit too far. Slice and Dice was able to get that Renekton in range, and he stunned him, and down he went. So Rengar, did he actually just grab a buff? He did not grab a buff. Alright, back to Nasus. Nasus is slowly working his way up. The stun barely missed, but it did end up missing, and he is going to live through this with no problem. Caitlyn's being forced back again. She just... Oh, no. She was just half health anyway, so she decided to go back after pushing it forward a bit. They're clearing wards. Very mean of you. Very, very mean of you. Interesting. I do find it interesting that the teams in the pro levels tend to ward here and here. Or you know, in this bush. I've always found... Maybe it's just silver player reaction times, but I've always found that this bush does not give nearly enough reaction time, and my teammate and I often just get destroyed. So I find it very interesting that they do place it there. Like I said, my guess is just that they do have the better reaction times, so you're gonna find them putting it in positions that give them the small amount they need, so that they don't have to go quite as far out of their way to ward up here. And they're still able to escape with no problem. But in silver, sometimes I'm able to notice and get out of there quickly enough. Often not, but it's the same way for my ally. Often it's not enough reaction time, and it just ends up getting us killed, which is not good at all. Ooh, he had to flash out of that. He did a lot of damage to Twisted Fate there, which is why I came down here. Got the stun there. There is his ulti, and the bounce, final bounce did not happen. If he gets one more spell, that guy's dead, but he doesn't, and missing it because of the minion. Nasty. And that final tower shot would have killed him in return, so he had to flash out of that. I think there was a flash from both. No, it was just a flash from him. Ouch. TF is not able to come back into this, though. Is he able to? No, okay. I was about to say, is Brand able to kill him? But no, he's not. In comes Rengar. He's currently stealth, but Brand kind of figured that was going to happen, so he's walking away. Rengar is not going to be able to get a kill out of that. Right, so he's gonna go back to his jungle. Apparently somebody's on their way down here. My guess would be Rengar. And grab came out and it missed. And actually Caitlyn's doing quite a bit of damage there, but not enough to do anything. And Nasus and Renekton are currently going in on it. Nasus actually took quite a bit of damage there. I want to see exactly how that happened. Renekton came up through the bushes here, where Nasus is just farming. And I guess Renekton said, nuh-uh. Ulted him, stunned him, and went in on him pretty hardcore. There comes the Nasus ult, though, and that makes him a whole lot more tanky as well. So Renekton's not really able to do anything while he's like that, but he might actually be able to now when his cooldowns come up. He does flash onto him, doing a lot of damage there. Does Nasus go down? He does, and Renekton is able to get out using that second slash and dash. Slice and dice. Wow, slash and dash. No. I mean, that's technically what it does, but not quite what it is. Oh, is the TF gonna... Oh, he came up here. I thought he was gonna come down bottom, but I didn't even notice. So that all happened down there. Nothing really happened too much. Renekton's going in on this tower, and that gave TF the sign, hey, go in on him. The stun comes out. Renekton's getting really low, and yeah, he goes down to that. Nicely played there by the TF. He figured he wasn't gonna get a kill down here. He might have been able to get Sona, honestly, but he figured it was better to not. And we did see Shaco coming in, and he is indeed going in. Is the clone able to get the kill? No, it does not get the kill. Kill actually goes to Caitlyn, and she actually has double buff now. And that is pretty terrible news for the blue team. Corki's probably kind of sad right about now. She got really close. She almost died, but she did not die, and that is really all that matters. And now they're going to go ahead and grab Bear or Dragon off of this, and the blue team's not going to be able to fight it off at all. Rand's coming in to try to get a little bit off of it. He does have his ulti, yeah? He does have his ulti, yes. So he could probably do a lot of damage, but the entire red team is here except for TF. And I don't think they're going to be able to... Oh, actually, he almost killed them. I'm not sure how... Oh, his Q, okay. So let's say, I don't know how he got his health back, but his Q got the health back. Doing so, Brand actually did force them back from Dragon, which is great on his part. But... he died for it. I think in this case it probably is worth it, as the red team did not get nearly as much gold as they would have had they managed to get that. And TF is actually getting pretty close there. The Ignite comes out, and I have a feeling TF's going to go down. They are turret diving this, and they're going in. The Renekton... Actually, no, the... Interesting. The Shaco gets the kill. Now Renekton's coming in. He does see the Rengar there, and he goes down to that Caitlyn, actually. The Caitlyn ulti got him down. So, I think he thought he was going to be able to take the Renekton, and he probably would have... Or Rengar. Woo! The names, man. The names. I think he thought he was going to be able to do it, but the fact that the Caitlyn was there meant that, nope, that's not going to happen. And the Sona's being forced back here. The fact that his ulti hit the dragon there means that he's actually took a decent amount of damage there. That's he's actually taking, but he's not anymore. He was, though. Try running away. So I'm actually not sure where this game's going to go. It's actually pretty close here. The red team's a little ahead in gold, but honestly, they're not even that far ahead. Blue team's still pretty close behind. Kill-wise, the blue team and red team are tied here. So a lot of times, kills are, in at least some ways, they are what matters. Simply because, although maybe not in this level of play, but in my level of play, a lot of times people only look at the kills. And while, you know, it doesn't itself win them the game, people see, hey, the enemy team is X far ahead of us, and they give up. So while really the kill itself isn't doing it, the fact that the kill difference is so big, a lot of times ends up giving the enemy team the win, even though they really didn't have the win. Like, you could have times where you're ahead in gold. Ooh, in comes the TF. He's going in. Nice ulti from Sona there. I think Corki might be able to get that. He does get this, and now they're going in on the Caitlyn. She flashes, goes and hits him once, but it's not going to work. In comes Brand, she's going to go down now. No, she's not yet, and she is going to escape this thanks to that trap. Unless she messes up big time, but I don't believe she is. In comes Rengar and Blitzcrank. Brand is now trying to get out of this. Rengar is visible now, and he is going in. The hit misses there. Brand's getting turret dove, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this. Nice stun, though, so he actually does hit the Rengar. He's trying to get away from Blitzcrank, and he has so far. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was kind of insane. Blitzcrank does get the kill there from Ignite, though, and I don't think he's going to go down for it. So he does get the kill, but really that was ridiculously awesome play there by that Brand. I do kind of see why you guys like Insoy so much. He was able to stun him under the tower and just get out of that just barely. And of course, until the Ignite came up. He thought he was going to be able to take down the Blitzcrank, but the whole Ignite thing meant, nope, not going to happen. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. TF looks like he's getting in position for another gank. His ulti is not up, so he's not able to do too much. He does get picked up by that ward, and it forces Renekton back, but he's not able to come in for a kill or anything. Corki's going in on this tower here. It looks like it might be the first tower kill, but I don't think so. I don't think there's enough minions here. So I think it's going to survive for at least a little bit longer. First tower kill of the game obviously was mid, but I don't think the first tower kill of the game for the blue team is going to happen quite yet. Although if these minions are able to do enough damage, I mean, Caitlyn's not going to be able to tank them. Or she could tank them, but she's not going to do it. So it may end up going down, but I don't think so, honestly. And now we're going to see all this action up here. Nice stun there from the TF, trying to get away, but he was slowed there by the Shaco. Shaco's still going in. Blitzcrank, sorry, Brand is coming up. And Brand lands the stun there on the Rengar, and Rengar's really low. He Qs to keep himself alive, but there is the Brand ulti. Is it enough to kill him? I think it might be. It does. It does kill him. And now TF is trying his best to escape. Nice flash there from Brand. Gets the stun, and down goes TF as well. So very nice for that. In the meantime, Corki's actually stealing blue buff, which is kind of hilarious. And Blitzcrank is running around clearing wards. And Caitlyn's down here pushing towards the tower, trying to take it down. Corki's coming up behind him, though, and the wards are actually not there, so they're not going to know. Let's go top. Looks like after killing them, Brand and Sona both decided to come on up here, and obviously they got the kill. So there we go. There is the Renekton ulti. Brand is actually taking the tower. There's the stun, and the kill goes to Renekton. So very nice play there. They got 2 kills here, immediately came up here and got a kill, and there was really nothing that Nasus could do about it. He couldn't run back that way, and he couldn't really do much at all, so he just had to die, and that's exactly what he did. Die. Got the flash, though. I think he tried to jump over the wall, but it didn't work. I'm not sure. Caitlyn's waiting around in this bush. The trap is there. Oh, he barely dodges it. Had he stepped on that, he may have ended up dying. But he predicted it being there, so he walked just far enough over, and he ended up getting out of that. So the first tower kill of the game for the blue team has gone down. They got the top tower there. Caitlyn did end up getting this in the meantime, though. So the red team is actually still a tower ahead, but because of the kills, they're actually about 2k behind. Not quite, but they're pretty close here. And Brand is just doing a lot of damage here. He is pretty nasty. What is he now? 5-4-1? That's pretty impressive, honestly. And this does mean that Corki and Sona are going to be able to take down this tower. Blitzcrank is nowhere near enough to be able to stop it by himself, and he wasn't even close enough to do it, even if he was. So the tower does go down. That is the second tower kill, and we've got up here Renekton going in on the Nasus a little bit there. Not really doing too much, just doing a little bit of harass there. And now the TF actually ultied over here. What the heck? He was right here. Why did he ulti so far? Or so close? Let's see. Rengar, I know, came in, and I think a lot of that damage was from Rengar. There is the Rengar ulti. He's coming down here on the Brand, jumps on him. The TF goes through, and okay. So he didn't really need to do that, but honestly, I guess it's probably better he did. He got the gold card, got behind him, and stunned him. And honestly, had he not, Rengar may have ended up dying there, because he got really low. We've got Renekton and Nasus still fighting up here. Renekton's actually done quite a bit of damage to Nasus, but he hasn't been able to finish him off yet. And this does mean that Nasus can use his passive to get up a decent amount of lifesteal. And now we've got Sona and Corki here going in on the tower. Interestingly, that miss. TF managed to land a stun there. Corki's going to go ahead and take down the TF, and he's going to die for it, thanks to his own overconfidence trying to take down the Blitzcrank. I mean, he almost got him, but he missed his ulti there just enough that the Blitzcrank actually ended up surviving, so that kind of stinks. And you know he's not happy. Shaco is down bottom, split pushing. Honestly, that's fairly normal for Shaco. You don't normally see Shaco in team fights, as he is actually kind of weak in them. But he's a really good split pusher, simply because he's got such an awesome disengage. He just Qs away and he's fine. There's a ping on the dragon, though, so it looks like the blue team's actually thinking about going for this. He tried to jump over the wall, but failed. Did manage to dodge that. It's not all that hard to dodge that, honestly. Down comes Blitzcrank, gets hit by that fear there, but it doesn't really matter too much. In comes Rengar, so I'm feeling it's going to be a bit of a smite war here, and the question is, who will win it? Dragon's getting really low, and the kill actually goes to Shaco. Is he going to be able to get out? He does jump over the wall there, so he is still alive. In comes Brand, lands that ulti, and down goes two members of the blue team there. Very quickly. And two members of the red team, now three members of the red team, all for just Brand, which is actually ridiculously awesome. And now down goes the Caitlyn as well. So that came pretty close to being the ace, except for the fact that Nasus is up here. So not quite an ace, but they are going to get the tower as well. So that was an awesome engage there for the blue team. They managed to get that dragon, get 4 kills, and do at least a decent amount of damage to the tower. I think they're going to take it as well. So honestly, overall, that was a great engagement. The fact that the red team was so close together meant that that Brand ulti did lots of damage. He landed the Q on, or the, W on them as well, and honestly, they just got annihilated pretty much instantly. Nice jump there from Rengar. He ultied. How did he have vision of that? Oh, right, because he's Rengar. Duh. Yeah, I forgot about the whole Rengar thing. He does have vision, I guess, in bushes while he's there. So he flashed, jumped, and just destroyed Corki instantly. And then he was able to go in on the Sona. The Blitzcrank managed to pull the Shaco. Sona flashed over the wall. She's still alive. And Rengar's doing his best to try to take her down. I think she is going to escape, though. The only question is, will Shaco? He does have his Q up in 5 seconds. I don't think he's going to make it that long. His ulti is up, but yeah, he still ended up dying there. On the plus side, though, he did manage to save it so that Sona could escape there, which is not bad at all. It looks like the red team's actually thinking about going for an early Baron here, which is kind of interesting, especially with Brand here. He could do a lot of damage, and that Baron buff means that they will do a lot of damage. Aw, his ulti only bounced. It only hit one person, so that was a little unfortunate there. That's one of the really annoying things about Brand, is his ulti, it doesn't bounce very well. Like, in that case, it seems like it should have bounced because they were pretty close together, but Blitzcrank was just far enough away that it didn't, and if it doesn't bounce, it's pretty much completely useless because it hits one person and it does not do nearly enough damage to really even count. So that in large part is why Brand is so underplayed at the high elos, just because of the fact that his ulti there is just, it's weak compared to a lot of the other mid ultis. And it really shows, especially in cases like that. Corki did a lot of damage to her, but not quite enough to take her down. And we've got the Shaco down here going ahead, split pushing. He's got the Ravenous Hydra. And he's pushing pretty well. That is one of the great things about that Ravenous Hydra. It makes it so you can easily push very well. And it really shows there, as he was able to push that up quite quickly. We've got TF going for the blue buff here. He's slowly getting it. And there we go. He finally gets it there. Shaco's going back. Everybody's just kind of walking around at the moment, getting their jungle gold, getting gold from lanes, etc. Nobody's really getting ready to fight or anything. Blitzcrank is just walking around warding up. And he may be coming in behind him, but I doubt it, because Blitzcrank really isn't that big of a help, and Renekton probably would just take them down. Renekton's doing a little bit of damage there to the Nasus. Nasus went ahead and slowed him, but Renekton, I think Renekton could still come out of it ahead by a little bit. Except for the fact that Rengar and Blitzcrank are both coming up. There is the Rengar ulti, and he's going to jump on the Renekton there, and Renekton goes, oh crap. Ult's up, trying to get out of this. He does have the increased health there. Blitzcrank, Brand and Corki are coming in. Down goes the Renekton. Brand comes in now, as well as Corki. The Rengar is in this bush, and the Rengar is going to die. Now in comes the Brand. Brand says hello, and oh, the Blitzcrank flashes out of that W. Down goes the Corki to the Caitlyn Q. Now Brand is trying to get out. He manages to land a stun there on the TF. TF is going to go down to the Brand ulti. The Caitlyn flashes to take the Brand down, and I think she's going to get out of this alive. So it ends up being a 4 for 2, which is not good at all for the red team, or for the blue team. It is good for the red team. It's actually very good for the red team. Shaco was able to get a tower in that, though. So unless Caitlyn gets this tower, which I think she will, yeah, she's going to get this. So it's definitely way in the red team's favor. In large part, it was just because the blue team trickled in there. They weren't all together, so there was like 3 members of the red team there, and they just blah, and then in came 1 member of the blue team, and another member of the blue team, and then 2 members of the blue team, and they were just so spread out that they were not able to live long enough to allow the other person to get there. Blitzcrank went ahead and pulled there. Oh, TF ulti! In comes Corki, though, and that might have been a bad TF ulti. In comes Corki's going off, trying to take down the TF. I don't think it's going to go in his favor, though. He does end up going down thanks to the fact that Rengar was there as well. So that was definitely an overextension on his part. TF is going to make it out of this alive, and now Brand is going to try to take down the Rengar. I think he might have been able to do it, but he saw the TF coming, so he went ahead and took off. Decided not to go for that. Probably a good idea. Actually, did he have ulti? He did have ulti. I think he could have taken him, but I'm actually not sure, because he didn't seem to take that much damage, so he might not have been able to. It might have been he was just trying to do some damage to get out of that in the meantime. Right, he's going to go back. GG I AFK. That name. I really hope he's not really one of those people. I hope it's just a name, not something he actually does, because I really don't like that. That bothers me a lot. For some reason, I've been seeming to get a lot of those recently. Not just AFKers, but just bad games in general. Aw, stepped on a trap. Cupcake! So if we look at the towers here, blue team is actually in the lead on towers, whereas before it was definitely the red team in the lead. Ooh, that bounce. It only bounced to her and then to the minions. Again, that's why Brand is just not used. His bounce is just too unreliable. It really is. You can't rely on it at all. These guys are going to go in on the dragon here, though, and they're going to go ahead and clear the wards. In comes a teleport. And it's going to be a full-out team fight here. All members of the blue team are here. Caitlyn is not here for the red team, though. So this may actually end up going in the blue team's favor, but they're not really fighting it. They're fighting the dragon. Some of them are, anyway. And the blue team's slowly melting. Down goes the TF. The Shaco gets him. Rengar's trying his best to get out of this, but he is going to be seen there. The Renekton manages to flash Q, I believe. Isn't that Q? Yep, Q. Flash Q him, and he went down. So they ended up getting Blitzcrank as well, and that ended up being a 3 for 1. Who got that dragon, though? Dragon kill went to Shaco. So Shaco actually got that kill. Not bad. So that was a dragon and 3 kills there for the blue team. And had they gone in this bush, he'd be dead too. But they decided against it, and instead they're going to go ahead and push here, which honestly is probably a good idea. They're going to get another tower down, or at least get a little bit of damage on it as soon as the minions get here. Although with a Nasus and a Caitlyn here, they're probably not going to do too much to it at all. Probably going to be forced back. They get a little hard. Actually, Blue team's getting a decent amount of harass there. Renekton is really strong, so down goes the Caitlyn to Brand. And Renekton's doing his best to get out of there. I think he will. Down goes the Nasus as well. In comes TF. So far, 2 people, the Corki and the Renekton, have both gone down. And Brand and Sona are doing their best to get out of there. So that ended up being a 2 for 2, which is not in either team's favor, of course, because it's tied. But honestly, given the fact that they turret dove, yeah, it was probably not the best of ideas there by the blue team. They really should have noticed the fact that everybody was coming up on the red team, and they probably should not have done that. But they may actually find that it's worth it. Wow. Shaco just utterly destroyed that TF there. There was no chance for the TF to react. He just died instantly. So Shaco's now able to split push this up. Not even split push, just kind of push it a little bit. And that is going to force Rengar here to defend it. And now Shaco's going to go ahead and go elsewhere. The rest of the blue team is up, whereas TF is currently down. His ulti's down anyway. So red team has to play pretty cautious now because they will definitely not have TF if they decide to engage right now. But it doesn't really matter because neither team seems to really be set on doing so. Brand's getting his blue buff. The red team's just roaming around getting jungle minions. Get a little more farm for that Q stack. Only 24? No. Okay, it just bugged out. It's 243. I think. 3 damage. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, anyway. It's definitely not 25. It is the 250, 252 or whatever. I want to see that whole team fight here. Let's go ahead and go in on that. We've got a decent number. We've got 4 members of the red team here, and only 3 of the blue team. The card actually missed there. Down went the Brand, but the Sona actually got the kill there, and they were actually able to kill pretty much everybody that was involved in that fight on the red team outside of that Blitzcrank. So 3 members of the blue team managed to take down 4 members of the red team. Well, they took down 3, but they were able to push back the 4th. So that's actually really bad for the red team. Well, sound like Porky Pig. Yeah. And now they're going in on this tower. Blitzcrank is here trying to defend it, but he's not able to do too much. The ulti here from Shaco is still here. He went down, actually. And the Shaco ulti is actually defending, and it was tanking the tower there. So they're going to get this inhibitor as well. And that actually went really bad for the red team. Things are not looking good for them at all, and Insoy is probably looking pretty good right now. He's pretty happy. Oh, TF just came in. Hold on. We saw that. I was going to go look at that, but apparently things are about to happen here. The TF respawns right now. Caitlyn's on her way out. We see a very quick little ulti there from the TF. He's got gold card lock, landed it on the Sona, but he missed his wild cards, and that does give the Shaco the chance to go ahead and kill him. So that ended up being a 2 for 1. But actually, yeah, 2 for 1. But you've got to factor in the fact that they were able to get those, and that's why they were still there. So really, that was definitely better for the blue team. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they ended up living even that far, as there were so many of them there. But these guys are actually going in on Baron now. Brand's here. I think just alone he's going to be able to push this back, as there are not enough members of the red team here. And Caitlyn is now trapped big time. The stun from Brand missed, but I think she's still going to die. Out comes the Brand ulti, just enough to take her down. It didn't matter because she was going to die anyway, but you did end up ulting for it, and she ended up dying. Not so good for them. Blitzcrank just got caught by the Corki there. Corki says, hello. And Blitzcrank is trying to get out of this. I don't think it's going to happen. He goes down as well. Now Corki sees the Nasus. Nasus is trying his best to get out of this. And actually, Nasus may end up being able to take the Corki. There is the Nasus ulti. Corki's trying his best to kite, but it did not end up happening. Nasus ended up getting the kill. He is just way too tanky from that ulti. Had it not been for the ulti, he would have died. But he had the ulti, and he got the kill.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Red team's turret. Oh, actually, hold on. What happened to TF there? Let's go back. Okay, so he just died there to Brand. Wow. Ouch. Yeah, lots of deaths here on the red team, and not many on the blue team.
Red team's turret.
Well, I mean, obviously, they've had 29 total, but recently I'm talking. Not so many. And now the blue team's actually going in on the Baron here. The Shaco clone was tanking it, and that gives them the extra burst of damage there. And now in comes the rest of the team, except of course for Corki, who's dead. And I think they're going to get this one for no problem at all. Yeah, there we go. Rengar is already on his way out here, but it's a little too late for that. And there was the ward by them, but they're already caught. Now the Rengar forced to flash out, got slowed there by the Shaco. Shaco actually just destroyed him. Shaco's got a lot of damage. Yeah, he does. Wow. Down goes the Caitlyn as well. Renekton manages to take him down. Her down. Caitlyn is not a him. And Dragon's actually going to be up in 35 seconds, but I don't really think that either team cares about that, honestly. The red team cares about defending their base, and the blue team cares about destroying the enemy's base. Well, I could be wrong because they are falling back, and they almost seem to be heading in that general direction. I mean, Corki's going over here. I don't know, he actually looks like he's going down to farm. So no, I don't think either team cares about it at the moment. But red team's definitely forced to stay in their base and defend here, as anytime they go out, they're getting destroyed. Sona is just pink warding up like a jerk and just destroying all of the enemy team's wards, so the red team has no idea where anything is, and she's actually got pretty good vision all through this top lane jungle. Not so good down here, but she's, you know, warding up as much as possible. But anytime the red team goes at all up here, they've got to watch out. Blitzcrank's trying to clear this ward here. I think he's going to get it with no problem. In comes the Shaco, though, and that does mean that the Blitzcrank's probably about dead. No, Shaco's actually going to go in on the red buff instead. And down here, we had Rengar just get destroyed there. Which is interesting because he fell back there, and Corki's right there. Why exactly did he go in? He went in on the Sona, and he just... Okay, he thought he was going to be able to burst her down, but the brand stun came out, and that said no. There was a nice stun there from Sona. Landed that on the TF, made it so he died. This means another tower is going to go down for the blue team, and the red team's kind of sad after that. Rengar thought he could burst that Sona down instantly, but it did not end up happening thanks to that brand. Brand just saved Sona's life big time there, and it means that he's not going to get out of that. I'll have to go see up there, because Shaco is actually soloing Nasus. Out comes the Nasus ulti. Nasus is doing his best to go ahead and take down the Shaco, but Shaco went ahead and deceived away, and it actually looks like Shaco may be able to do this because he's got so much lifesteal. He's just lifestealing it back up. I'm not sure who's going to come out ahead there. Wow. The Nasus ulti went down, and Nasus just instantly melted there. So, we've got these guys up here just playing around, down with the Caitlyn inside of her Nexus, and it looks like this is gonna be GG. As long as the blue team doesn't do something stupid like say, hey, let's run into the Nexus. I think they're gonna be fine. That's not what, that doesn't count. She didn't run into the Nexus, she got pulled. Boom! And yeah, that is GG. So let's go ahead and take a look at the people their CS and items and such. We've got Nasus with 205 CS versus 244 for Renekton. 259 versus 667. He's got an Iceborne Gauntlet, Sunfire Cape, Ninja Tab with the Homeguard Enchant, Kindle Gem, and a Negatron Cloak versus Randuin's Omen, Black Cleaver, Sunfire Cape, Mercury's Treasure with the Homeguard Enchant, Spectre's Cowl, and a Rejuvenation Beads. It's only a bead in the picture, so I don't know about that. Twisted Fate had 138 CS versus 115 for Brand, which is actually insanely low for a diamond level game, but I guess they were just so busy killing champions that they didn't farm all that much. 6, 14, 10 to 11, 10, 10. So yeah, that's pretty big there. The Tia has Zonya's Hourglass, Lich Bane, Sorcerer's Shoes with the Homeguard Enchant, Blasting Wand, and Double Dorans versus Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Leandri's Torment, Morello Namicon, Sorcerer's Shoes, Blasting Wand, and a Doran's Ring. Caitlyn's at 208 CS versus 204 for the Corki. They're actually pretty close there, but she's 987 versus 1387. He's 4 kills ahead. She's got Bloodthirster, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, Berserker's Grease, the Homeguard Enchant, Pickaxe, and a Sight Ward versus Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Berserker's Grease, the Homeguard Enchant, and a Doran's Blade. The Blitzcrank is at 20 CS versus 18 for Sona. He is 986 versus 2326. That is huge right there. He's got Shard of True Ice, Ruby Sightstone, Boots of Mobility, Philosopher's Stone, and a Sight Ward versus Shirley's Reverie, Aegis of the Legion, Ruby Sightstone, and Ionian Boots of Lucidity. She did not go Gold Pretend Rush at all. Rengar has 115 CS versus 211 for Shaco. Shaco's way ahead there. Rengar is 5-8-10 versus 11-4-5 there, and yeah, he's way ahead there as well. So the Rengar has Youmuu's Ghostblade, Last Whisper, Boots of Mobility, the Home Guard Enchant, and a Brutalizer versus Ravenous Hydra, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, Berserker's Grease, the Home Guard Enchant, Chain Vest, and a Negatron Cloak. So, looks like that's going to be the end of this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.